In this video, I want to show you how to find out if your next big product bet will work before you sink 6 months of runway and a huge chunk of budget into building it. Look, bias for action is a good thing. It's probably what got you this far. And we all want to move fast, so it makes sense that when you're looking at a high stakes feature, the instinct tends to be just build it. Fast equals good. And listen, I'm not here to tell anyone to slow down, but the situation that we see teams fall into all the time is that just build it feels fast, but most of the time it's really just a massive unhedged bet on kind of gut feel. And the ironic part is, if that bet is wrong, just build it becomes the slowest possible path. You're back at square one, but you're 6 months poorer and your team is burned out. This is the thing, speed is good, but direction beats speed every time. I'm Chris from Basis, and we've worked with a lot of founders and product leaders who are stuck in this exact spot. We help them use a proven process to replace the gamble with real-world evidence, and in just about a week too. We've seen it save teams from wasting millions on a build that probably would have failed. So stick around, I'm gonna break down why just build it is risky, and then I'll walk you through the framework that gets you clarity first, so you can finally move fast and know you're building the right thing. Okay, so let me tell you about a company that we're gonna call SquidCo. SquidCo had a brilliant idea, revolutionary even, and it doesn't matter what it is, and it's definitely not because I made this particular company up, so please stop asking about it. SquidCo assembled a world-class team. They raised some funding, and they did what every ambitious startup does. They built it for an entire year. And then on launch day, users signed up, they clicked around for maybe 30 seconds, and then they left. Forever. But look, this wasn't a failure of execution. The code was solid, design was great, the team was talented, and maybe SquidCo was smart and they even had a killer growth marketer who was saying the right things to get people in the door for free trials in the first place. The failure happened on day one when someone said, okay, build it. Because just build it makes three super dangerous assumptions. The first, it assumes speed of execution is the most important factor, and it's not. Direction is. You can move incredibly fast in completely the wrong direction. Second, just build it assumes you know what the customer wants, and you don't. None of us do. Even with years of experience, customer research, and really, really good hunches, we're making assumptions. And these are really expensive guesses to be making at this stage. And third, you assume that you can fix it later. But here's the trick with later. The further you get into development, the more emotionally invested you become. 6 months in, when the data says this isn't working, you're not thinking clearly anymore. You're thinking, we've come this far, we just need to tweak it, one more sprint, one more feature, you get the idea. The consequence of the whole just build it thing is predictable and, well, it can be brutal. You could get incredibly lucky and have everything work out, but you're more likely to spend 6 months or maybe even a year burning cash and pouring your heart into a product, and then realizing that you've built the perfect solution to a non-existent problem. So what's the better way? Well, we don't want to go in a straight line from idea to code or even design. It might seem strange, but we found that's actually the slowest way to put out quality products and features. Why? Well, instead of finding out if you're creating something that matters, you waste a lot of time and energy upfront battling dev issues, scope creep, getting the team realigned, and this is all before a customer even sees the thing you're building to give you feedback. You need a process that allows you to fast forward into the future and see how customers react to your finished product before you've spent a single dollar on development. Think about it like this. A strategic mistake caught in the planning phase is a sticky note that you throw away. But if you found that same mistake after 6 months of dev, that gets pretty messy pretty quickly. At Basis, we use a structured process to make sure that we're moving as fast and as accurately as possible. It's called the design sprint. The design sprint is a super fast, super structured process for solving big challenges by creating a realistic prototype and testing it with real customers. 5 days with a real prototype in front of real customers to get real answers. And when you run a design sprint, there's a few things that you get. You drastically reduce risk, you save months of development time, you start heading towards the right product the first time, you gain clarity and confidence in your idea, you get feedback from real users, and also you get to feel super smart when your CEO asks, how did you know this would work? And you can say very calmly, we tested it. Here's what a design sprint looks like. On Monday, we map. You start at the end. Where do you want to be in 6 months, a year? You map out the challenge, you identify the most critical moment in your customer's experience, and you pick your target. Everyone gets on the same page. Radical, I know. On Tuesday, we sketch. Everyone, and I mean everyone, works alone to create detailed solutions on paper. There's no group brainstorming, there's no shouting ideas, there's no sales pitches, just thoughtful, complete ideas. Ugly is okay, it's good even. We want ideas that can be judged on merit alone. On Wednesday, we decide. We critique every solution, and then we use a structured process to choose the strongest ones without devolving into endless debate. A key person, the decider, makes the final call. It's a system that produces the best decisions fast. On Thursday, we prototype. This is where the magic happens. In just one day, we build a high fidelity prototype. It's not a real coded product. It's not even really designed. It's what we would call a facade. Think of the Hollywood movie set. It looks real on the outside, which is all you need to get a genuine reaction. It's just real enough to be believable. On Friday, we test. We usually interview about 5 customers. There's a lot of research that shows 85% of problems show up in just about 5 interviews. You watch them try your prototype, you ask questions, and you take notes. By the end of the day, you know if your idea works, what needs to change, or if you should kill it before wasting a single line of code. Trust me, there really is no replacement for seeing real, genuine reactions to the thing that you made. By Friday afternoon, the just build it gamble is right off the table. You're not guessing anymore. You have real evidence. You've seen the future. You either have a validated concept that you can confidently invest in, or you've discovered some critical flaws and you saved yourself a year of wasted effort. Seriously, an efficient failure in a sprint is one of the biggest wins that you can have. You walk away with a validated prototype, real customer insights, and a clear, undeniable path forward. So this is the kind of thing that happens when you combine speed and direction. Okay, so what does this actually look like in practice? Well, here's a couple of recent examples. A portfolio management platform that we worked with spent months spinning their wheels on a critical feature. They were working on it off the side of the desk whenever they had time, and it was just taking forever. One design sprint later, they had the feature that would have taken them a full year to get to otherwise. A funded PR tech startup had a great product idea, but they couldn't figure out who to sell it to. After testing 2 prototypes with real users, they found their perfect customer, discovered an unexpected sales channel, and they saved 6 months and probably over $100,000 that they would have burned building the wrong thing. Here's what these teams have in common. They didn't just build it. They tested before they invested. Listen, they still move fast. They just move fast in the right direction. And when they finally did build the real thing, they built it right the first time. Bottom line, successful companies don't just hustle blindly. They validate before they execute. They test their assumptions before those assumptions cost them 6 months and a small fortune. This is the kind of decision making that separates builders from visionaries. They're not reckless with resources. They're business leaders who mitigate risk. If you want to see exactly how those projects played out with the full behind the scenes breakdowns, we've written up some detailed case studies on our website. You'll also find a deeper dive into the sprint methodology and how each day actually works in practice. All free, just some good stories and frameworks that you can learn from today. If there's one thing I want you to take from all of this, it's this. The best time to test your idea isn't after you build it. It's before. Hope this was helpful, and we'll see you next time.